Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Benny, and it is your favorite time of the season. We are going to be going over the top 5 best mortar decks to play this season, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to play every single one of them. And for the first one, we're going to be using the Skeleton King, which there's no surprise about because that's been good for like, I think 7 years at this point. But we're going to be using that one with the brand new Evolution Skeleton Barrel. And this guy's going to go very aggressive for his first play, so we need to really punish this guy. He has totally just lost. There is absolutely no way that this guy is going to win this matchup. He gave us a good game because he knows that it is completely over. So we're going to get an amazing win for the first one. And honestly, I think I'm gonna need to do another match because that was just so quick. All right, you guys, we're gonna try that once again just because that was so quick that we got that win. And honestly, I feel like that is a good sign to show how good this deck is based on the fact that we slammed him that quickly. So you know, a pretty good way to gauge the success of this deck for that one. But hopefully we have a bit of a closer matchup here so I can teach you guys a little bit about this deck. Now he's going to go really aggressive there with the Lumberloon push, so I definitely need to make sure that I do not get my tower taken here. And he might have freeze. Actually, I think there's probably a good chance he has freeze, although he's not going to be able to use it in time, so that's good. Let's pop the Skeleton King ability here. Even if I get 0 damage from the Skeleton King ability, I just do it because it almost always forces out a counter. You'll see there he used a snowball. That's 2 elixir. It's always worth doing because sometimes you might get 1 or 2 skeleton hits and they're going to have to use their elixir anyway. So you know, the only time I wouldn't do it is if it's like guaranteed, you know, they have a lot of stuff there that's going to stop you from getting that skeleton barrel off, or skeleton damage off, sorry. And that's the only time I would really save it. But we're going to play our Skeleton Barrel there because we want to try to get that cycle to the Evo. And he is over defending a little bit. I don't really know why he would have played the Ice Spirit there. I'll split my Goblin Gang here though, so that's going to stop us from having too much of an elixir advantage. I have to be very careful against this guy because he does have the Lumberjack. I know that he can just go for that if he wants to and punish me. Honestly, he's probably going to go for it right here. I would be very surprised if he doesn't. Okay, that was totally the wrong play that he could have made. I don't really know why he did that. I'll just go for the Skeleton King right here, and then I could even Ice Spirit here to get rid of those bats, and I think this guy's going to be in trouble. That's kind of the thing with this deck, is you want to defend as long as you can and then just punish your opponent with the counter push. I'll pop the Skeleton King ability there, and then we are going to get everything right onto the tower there. He'll play the Lumberjack, so that was a good play because that will stop us from being able to use the cannon cart on the tower. But we do have a very nice mortar lock. And now I think I'm going to play my Evil Skeleton Barrel here because we're going to get some really good damage with the goblins going in there. And you know, we have a nice counter push as well as having the double Skeleton Barrel going in right there. And the Ice Spirit, I don't think will counter all of it. So we're going to get all of that on the tower. That was absolutely beautiful. I am so in love with Evil Skeleton Barrel. It is my new favorite card. He is not happy about it though. I don't think he loves it the same way. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get the Evil Mortar down right here just because we have the Ice Wizard there to kind of help out. And then I can get the Skeleton Barrel there, or the Skeleton King, sorry, not the Skeleton Barrel. There's just too many skeletons to deal with at this point. And then he's going to use his freeze there. I think I'm just going to use my arrows to get rid of all of that. And then I'll go for some bats with the cannon cart just to kind of make that a little bit more annoying. He'll play the Lumberjack, no big deal there. I can just go for my Goblin Gang here. And then maybe I'll start the Skeleton King in the back to get that ability to start charging up. And I'll cycle another Skeleton Barrel there, try to get some damage. Let's go for some arrows here to try to get that Skeleton Barrel on the tower for death damage. Doesn't look like we will, but we will get a couple of skeleton shots there, which is good. I'll go for some bats behind this, and then we might as well pop the ability, to be honest with you guys, just to keep that pressure going. I'll go for the Mortar right here. He's going to go in with a pretty massive push there. We actually have to make sure that we don't get 3-crowned here. Holy crap. Okay, hold up. Okay, I'm going to use my arrows here to make sure that we don't lose that tower, because that actually could have been very traumatic if we lost our tower there. And then what do I want to do here? I'm almost tempted. I'll cycle the bats right here. If he goes for the balloon, I'm not worried about it. I can just go like this right here, and then we can play the Ice Wizard up high, because that way he can't freeze both the Ice Wizard and the tower. And then I'll go for the Evil Skeleton Barrel right here, and he's going to go for the freeze, so let's just get the bats right here. Even if that balloon gets a hit, I'm not really that worried about it, because we can just get the Skeleton Barrel on the tower. We got the win. Let's give him a good game, give him a good luck, and go on into the next. Alright guys, for the next deck, honestly, I am so happy about this, that we have this on the list again. It is going to be just regular Mortarbait. I love this deck. The Evil Skeleton Barrel has 100% made this very viable. It was always good, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't something that you would see super consistently in the top 1000. Whereas now I think you 100% will. The Skeleton Barrel is just a massive buff to this deck, so that is, you know, something that I'm very happy about. That was a good princess there, but we are going to get some nice damage there. Now, The biggest thing with this deck, in my opinion, is going to be trying to make sure that you cycle that Skeleton Barrel as much as you can. You want to get as much value out of that. You want to try to get the Evil Skeleton Barrel as much as you can. Now, the Spear Goblins are going to get a bit of chip damage for us, and he's going to let them go. Which is a little bit interesting if I'm being honest, just because Spear Goblins do a ton of damage actually. That was a really weird bait barrel. I wasn't expecting that. It worked out for us in the end, but that was a little bit interesting. I'm going to play a Goblin Gang here for the cannon. We do catch that, but he'll probably just log here if I had to guess. But then we can just play the Skeleton Barrel on this side, and it's, you know, we're mixing things up a little bit here on this guy. So hopefully we can get a little bit of damage on that, and then he will play the Goblin Gang, but we're going to get some really nice skeleton damage, and I'm happy with that. And then we can play some Spear Goblins to help defend this and make sure that we don't take too much more damage. Now, another thing in this matchup is going to be the Bridge Princesses, because I hate those so much, and they are so... Oh my gosh, speak of the devil, hey? So he's going to play the Princess there. I could go for a Mortar, but actually I don't think I want to. He'll probably play his Knight on my Musketeer, which means that I can play my Knight to kite, and then he'll probably go for a Barrel. Yeah, he will. So I'm just going to log right here. That was a good... honestly, that was a good little barrel that he played there. I'm going to go for a little bit of a counter push here though, so I'm going to go for my Skeleton Barrel on this side, and then I have the Evil Mortar there. He's going to play the cannon right there, which was a good play, don't get me wrong, but we got the Musketeer in front. That Dark Goblin should go down. Let's get a Goblin Gang going into this side. He just used his log. The Skeletons are on the tower, and we can get the Spear Goblins going right there. We have the Evil Mortar lock on the other side as well. Let's go for a Mortar right here. Spear Goblins are on the tower, which is beautiful. Let's get a Skeleton Barrel there. We actually probably shouldn't have played the Skeleton Barrel. I forgot about the cannon, but that's okay. We are going to draw out a ton of counters, and then we can just get the Musketeer right here to stop that Dark Goblin from getting too much damage on the tower, although his Stank will get on the tower a little bit there. I'm going to go for a Fireball here, actually. I think it's going to be a Fireball cycle type of matchup in the end here. Let's get the Spear Goblins right here. Let's go ahead and let's get another Skeleton Barrel down here, because I'll have to play the cannon, and then I can just go for the Fireball right here. I do have my log, which is good. Skeleton Barrel might get a hit on the tower. Doesn't look like it will, but we can just log and we can get the win. So let's give him a good game. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to give him a good luck because he was yawning, but we'll go on into the next. All right, you guys, for the next deck, it is going to be the classic Mortar NATO deck that we have seen for a couple seasons. And honestly, I do love this deck, but at the same time, it's probably my least favorite Mortar deck to play, and that's because I screw up the tornadoes every single freaking time. I am so sick of doing it. It's a mistake that I always make. So, you know, that is something that I despise about myself with this deck, is when it comes to tornadoes, my brain just short circuits. But other than that, it is a great deck. If you can spend the time to master it, it actually is a wonderful, amazing deck that will be good every single season. So I would recommend playing it. I just, you know, in terms of how good it is, I'm probably the worst person with it. But we will get some good damage here, actually, so that's good. I'm going to play the Valkyrie here. I should definitely played that too early. I should have waited a little bit, but that's okay. We got some good damage. The Firecracker is going to be the most difficult thing in this matchup. Now, another really big and important thing that you want to do is you want to kind of play fast. That was a lot of damage that he just gave us with the Valkyrie. That almost makes it worth playing either lane. That's interesting. So depending on which lane he chooses, I guess we can figure it out from there. Let's get the Skeletons down right here. That was a really good Fireball that he was able to get off on us. So I'm not happy about that. We'll get the Valkyrie down here though, and then let's get this here. Ooh, that's going to be bad timing. Maybe we can get a Mortar Shot off onto the Firecracker, and then I don't think we'll get a Mortar Shot off onto the tower, unfortunately, but that's okay. And then man, what do I want to do here? I think I'm just going to chill out. I can't play my Ice Wizard in the back, so I'm almost tempted. Ooh, I'm so tempted to rocket this. I think I'm going to do it. This is against my better judgment. This might be a massive mistake. Let's get the Ice Wizard down right here, and then let's just get some Skeletons here as well to help us defend and make sure that Hog Rider doesn't get too much damage, and then we can Tornado this all together. Hopefully the Ice Wizard does its thing and takes that out. That was some good damage though that he was able to get on the tower. Let's go for the Mortar, and I think I'm going to try to catch him off guard with a Mortar play eventually. Inferno Tower is kind of crazy, And okay, I'm gonna log here, and then let's cycle the skeletons, and I guess let's go for an ice wizard up high here, just so that he can't get that fireball off. Oh, he is going to get it off anyways, so that's a little bit depressing. Let's go for the high mortar here. I'll go for the ice spirit right here, and then he's going to go ahead and get an inferno tower. I'm gonna go for a rocket on the tower here, just because I do have my evil Valkyrie, so I can just do that, and then I can log all of this, and hopefully that firecracker doesn't get anything on the tower. It doesn't, which is good. Now I'm gonna go for the evil mortar. Let's go ahead, let's get an ice spirit in front of this in case he goes for the inferno tower, and then I'll get my skeletons here, and then let's get the Valkyrie down in front, although I think that the inferno tower will take out my mortar in time, which is too bad. And then let's tornado this right onto the tower, or onto the king tower, sorry. Then I'll go for another mortar. Let's get an ice spirit in front of this, and he's going to go for a Valkyrie there, which is a good play. Okay, I need to log here. Hopefully that hits the firecracker, and then I honestly, I need the mortar to take out that firecracker. That is so tragic that it didn't. Let's tornado this stuff together, because that will help us take out the firecracker, and then I can go for the mortar right here again. And then he's going to Inferno Tower. Okay, so how do we want to make this work? Ooh, okay, hold up. I need to log on this, and then I hope that I pull it in time. Okay, good. That could have been really quite bad if he would have got an evil firecracker shot off there. We'll have the skeletons here. I think that, you know, if we would have got a mortar shot, that would have been huge if we could get one on the tower. Okay, we will take out the firecracker. I'll ice wizard in the back. I think he's gonna fireball. Yeah, he is. So I'm going to go for a rocket on the tower, and then let's go for the high mortar here. The biggest thing is going to be making sure that he isn't able to get an evil firecracker lineup, and so I definitely need to make sure that I'm being safe about that. We'll get this here. Let's go ahead. Let's tornado this stuff together, and then let's go ahead. Let's log here. And let's go ahead and do this. He's going to get the evil firecracker down. I can just get the evil Valkyrie right here, and then oh wait, hold up, let's get the evil mortar right here. Let's get a log, let's get an ice spirit down, and then I'm wondering if we can get enough damage on the tower here. We're gonna go for the rocket. This is gonna be so close. Let's go for the tornado here, and we are going to get the win because of the evil Valkyrie. Holy crap, that was a close matchup and a tough one. And let's go on into the next deck. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I am proud of that last win that we got with the classic mortar deck, because firecracker is probably the most difficult deck to go against. So I'm happy with that. But for this deck, it is going to be, I mean, I think there's absolutely no surprise here. It's going to be the Skeleton King deck that runs Cannon Cart and Ice Wizard. This deck is just so sound defensively. It's one of those things where you can kind of defend pretty much every single push. The only kind of difficult thing is if they ever have lightning, but even then, you know, you can spread out so much and you can just kind of defend and get the wins a lot, and then your Skeleton King gives you so much pressure. Like even this guy stacked up on that push quite a bit there, and that really wasn't a difficult defense for me. So you know, it's a wonderful deck. Now, one thing that I would recommend is trying to cycle your evil bats a lot, but then I wouldn't really hold your evil bats for a one trick, because your evil bats, they do just get so much value, and so I would really try to take advantage of that as much as you can. I played the cannon card up high there. That was actually a horrible play, because guaranteed there's no way this guy doesn't P.E.K.K.A on this, and that's going to be tough to defend. So that was definitely a mistake. That is the biggest thing that I will say with this deck is, you know, these matches, they're yours to lose. And honestly, it's not looking good for me right now here. Where I think we're going to take a decent amount of damage. These bats are going to bail us out a little bit, but that could have been a lot worse, and it shouldn't have happened. So, you know, in these matchups, it's for you to lose. It's kind of one of those things where if you go too aggressive, that's when you're going to lose. But, you know, most pushes you should be able to defend. There's going to be some decks where it's like, what the heck, how am I supposed to defend that, obviously, but on average, I would say it's pretty good. This guy having Magic Archer is a little bit worrisome, because the Magic Archer with the Tornado does get quite a bit of value in this matchup. I'll play the Mortar there, and I played it to the side to pull so that the Magic Archer couldn't get on the tower. And then I'll go for the Ice Wizard like this. That shouldn't get him a tower lineup, and it's too low for it to be valuable for him to go for a Tornado. Because he played the P.E.K.K.A in the back, I'm going to Skeleton King in the opposite lane. That gives us the 3-card cycle, and it also gives us a bit of a counter push. And then what do I want to do here? I'm tempted to go for the Goblin Gang first, and then I'm waiting for him to zap, and then I'll go for the Evil... Actually, I'm just going to go for the Evil Bats anyways right now. So that's really good. That Magic Archer is going to put in a bit of work, but we can just play the High Cannon card to take that out. And then the... Oh my gosh, okay, the Battle Ram did get pulled, so that's really good. We can just play the Goblin Gang right here. I'll go for some Bats, and then to take out the E-Wiz, and then I'll go for the Evil Mortar. He might go for a P.E.K.K.A. Doesn't look like he will. The Magic Archer is not going to be a very good counter to the Evil Mortar, and I'll get another Ice Wizard down. I'm going a bit aggressive here, obviously, but I want to try to get a lineup on the tower. He just used his zap, so now I can go for my Bats to take out the Bandit, and so we're going to get at least one Mortar shot prop. Yeah, no, it's going to be just one, but that's very good for us. I would take that any day of the week. Now let's wait and see. There's the Battle Ram. That's all I was waiting for. So we'll do the Mortar there to stop that, and then we can get the Ice Wizard down. That's going to be a very good Magic Archer, but the Cannon card should go down relatively quick. Oh my gosh, okay, wait, the Magic Archer didn't line up. I thought it would. So that's really good for us. Let's go for a Goblin Gang here, and then when that gets taken out, he's gonna have to zap an E-Wiz if he wants to take that out fully, or Bandit, and then we can just pop the Skeleton King ability on this side, and then ooh, that was horrible Evil Bats there that I played, but he did play the E-Wiz already, so that actually worked out quite well for us, I think. And then the Magic Archer should get pretty low. I can just play the Ice Wizard right here to take all of this out. We don't have to worry about the opposite lane. I'll cycle a Miner here. I might as well, just because you know, we want to get that chip damage, and there's no point in spending a ton of elixir to do that. And then I can go for all of this here. Let's go ahead. Let's try to get the Skeleton King ability off. I don't know if we will or not. It looks like we will, which is good. Let's go ahead and get a Miner on the tower here, just to kind of make it a little bit more difficult for him and distract stuff off of the Mortar. And then I'll go for a High Cannon card, because we have all of these Ice Wizards just putting in work. He's going to go... This guy had Fireball that entire time, and he just now uses it. That is crazy. Let's go in here. He's going to have to zap, and we have the Mortar lineup, and we are going to get the win, as this guy was hiding that Fireball. Let's give him a good game, give him a good luck, and go on into the last deck. Alright guys, for the last deck, we are going to be using the Goblinstein Empress deck, and this is a very good deck, and the reason why I wanted to show it and include it in this video is because there are some substitutions that you can make, so you can actually use Skeleton King instead if you want. You can get rid of Cannon Cart from Musketeer if you want, although I would probably keep Cannon Cart, and then you can use Goblin Gang instead of Guards if you want. There's lots of different ways that you can kind of mess around with this deck, and so I wanted to make sure that I kind of show you guys that and discuss that in this, because the Spirit Empress is a great card, and I think there's a lot of different ways that you can really take advantage of it. I'm going to take a lot of damage from that Miner, I think. Holy crap, okay. I need to lock in, because that was way too much damage to take at the very start of a match. Okay, I'm going to play the Mother Witch here, because I don't want to deal with those skeletons, and, you know, he's going to have to defend those pigs now, because, you know, he's just a weirdo for doing that, to be honest. I mean, actually, there was really nothing weird about it, but I don't appreciate it. Now, I'm going to cycle these bats in the back here, and then I guess I'll just play the Stein here to distract the goblins, but the Stein isn't necessarily the greatest counter. I'll go for the Mortar on this side, and let's just wait and see what he does. There's the Mighty Miner, no big deal there. Okay, what do I want to do? How do I want to deal with that? He's played the Dark Goblin, which was a good play, but okay, I'll go for the Cannon card here, and then what do I want to do here? Let me think. I could go for... No, do I actually... No, I don't want to back this up, but what I will do is I'll go for the Mother Witch right here, because then he can't play the skeletons as easily, so we will get the Cannon cart onto the tower, which is good, and then, you know, he has to kind of use a little bit more, and we will get one pig in there. Oh my gosh, okay, hold up. This guy just messed up a little bit there, because now we have a decent push going. He's going to have to pop the Mighty Miner ability if he wants to get rid of the bats, and then because of that, we have the Goblinstein going in. That is amazing. Let's get the arrows down here as well to make sure that we get that tower down. Let's pop the Stein ability just for some extra damage and take out anything that he might play like skeletons. And just like that, one Mother Witch just totally turned this game around. Oh my gosh. I would be actually so annoyed if I was this guy. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get the Mother Witch down. Let's get an Empress right here. And then the pigs should actually kind of help out a little bit to distract the goblins, as well as take out the drill, which is good. So now we have a lot of pigs going in. Let's go ahead, let's get a Cannon cart down up high. Hopefully we get a couple nibbles with the pigs. Maybe I'll go for some arrows there just to get damage on the tower so that we don't have to worry about you know, for sure getting it down. Cannon cart hopefully will take out the Dark Goblin, which is good. I'll even get a Goblinstein down here for good measure, but we are definitely going to get the win here. So let's give him a good game, and then let's get that Spirit Empress down, and let's give him a good luck. And then actually, oh wait, hold up, I totally just like goofed there, because I actually don't have enough for the arrows to get the win there. Hold up, hopefully we don't choke this. Okay, hold up here. We got to get some damage onto that tower before we get the... Okay, good. We almost choked that, but we are going to get the win. Now we'll give him a good game and a good luck. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.